About Hiland Dairy's plans to expand in Tyler. The current facility is located near Irwin Street and East Locust Streets, not far from downtown, and that's exactly where the expansion is set to happen. As KLTV7's Alex Weister reports, the dairy hopes to increase access to their products and create jobs.
Hiland Dairy Foods in Tyler is adding 90,000 square feet to its existing facility to help grow and meet the demand across the state while adding over 30 new jobs.
We are over capacity currently at our facility, especially during the holidays, and our company has recognized that we're in a growth mode and a growth area.
The new equipment and space will help Hiland Dairy output and process nearly 700,000 more gallons of dairy a week.
We'll be able to expand and triple our production, so we'll be able to manufacture up to 1 million gallons a week of fresh dairy, high-quality products.
Hiland Dairy purchased the property in Tyler in 2017. President of Tyler Economic Development, Scott Martinez, says Hiland Dairy's community support has been amazing, and this expansion only means bigger and better things.
They could have invested anywhere. They've got other locations in the state of Texas and throughout their corporate footprint, but we're really pleased that they've decided to make this significant investment in our community.
Hiland Dairy has been in the process of determining where to expand for a while, but the city of Tyler helped with tax abatements that will be reviewed in October and made the process an easy decision.
The partnership in the city and the community has been fantastic. There were other cities basically courting us to move, but we wanted and preferred to stay in Tyler.
Alex Weister, KLTV7 News.
And Hiland Dairy expects that new facility to be complete by the beginning of 2026.